There are 5 common mistakes that you are probably making in your presentations. And it's not your fault. Unless you've actually had public speaking coaching, you probably wouldn't realize that these are even mistakes. My name's Kyle Murter. I'm a public speaking coach, champion, and author, and today I'm going to make sure that you never make these mistakes again. Number 1 is a boring start. What does a boring start look like? It looks like this. Good morning. I'm here to talk to you about accountancy today. That is how 90% of people start their presentations. They say, good morning, good afternoon, I'm here to talk about X. It's dull, we've heard it a million times, and it does nothing to earn your audience's attention. Instead, think about starting with a hook through using a big statement, a fact, a bit of audience interaction, or even a question. Do you know what every business in the world needs? An accountant. The second mistake is not introducing yourself. It's incredible how many speakers won't even share their name with the audience. Yet, one of the key questions in your audience's mind is, who are you? And this makes sense because if the audience don't know who you are, how can they know to trust you? How do they know that you should be listened to? How do they know that it's worthwhile taking action on your words? And this is why you need a short introduction that shares who you are, what you do, and why you care about this topic. That short intro is going to help the audience connect with you and trust you. The third mistake is failing to interact with your audience. For some reason, people think that public speaking is just about them speaking. And that could not be further from the truth. In fact, your job as a public speaker is to encourage other people in the room to speak. Because when the audience share their thoughts and ideas, that's when more value is added to the presentation. So make sure you don't just talk at the audience. Instead, talk with them by asking questions, by making them have group discussions, by allowing them to present in your presentation. And you know, Benjamin Franklin once said, tell me and I'll forget. Teach me and I'll remember. But involve me and I'll learn. So your audience will gain so much more when you allow them to take part in your presentation. The fourth mistake is failing to tell stories. I see this in a lot of corporate presentations. People just share graphs, tables, numbers, and they fail to give those numbers, those tables, a story. And stories are how we learn best. It's one of our oldest forms of communication. The great speaker Les Brown even said, never make a point without telling a story, and never tell a story without making a point. So what I would encourage you to do is look at the key points in your presentation and ask yourself, is there a story I can tell which would explain this point? By telling more stories, you're going to improve the clarity and the engagement of your presentation. And the final mistake is one of the most common of all, a dull ending. You see, most people end like this. Well, that's my presentation on accountancy done. Thanks for listening. Which is such a waste, because the end of your presentation is the most important part. Why? Because what is said last will last with your audience. So don't end by saying, that's me done, thanks for listening. Instead, end with a compelling call to action. So if you want a successful, high-performing, non-tax evading business, give an accountant a call. By having a call to action, people are far more likely to take action on your words. If you're thinking, Kyle, I love these ideas, but I'm a bit nervous about doing them, well then check out this video on how to calm your speaking nerves. If you enjoyed these tips today, please subscribe to the channel. Every week I've got new videos on public speaking coming out. And above all, I wish you the very best for your next presentation.